Hello, this and my other YouTube videos are extracted from the History of Man series, currently 6 books published in print, ebook, and most importantly, audiobook. I'm a storyteller, and if you like these video stories, you'll love the History of Man series audiobooks. Great for commuting or just sitting back and relaxing. And unlike a novel you've read where you know the ending, you can listen to these books on tape more than once. There's so much to learn. Available on Amazon and audible.com, I narrate the audiobooks. And the best part about that is you can listen to these stories without having to look at my stupid face. And with that said, let's get the show on the road. Hello, I'm John Bershoff, another installment of the History of Man series, because I'm a storyteller. Today we're going to talk about a dogma in medicine that lasted quite a while, the miasma theory. Galen of Pergamon was a physician in the 2nd century AD. He was born Greek. He was a Roman citizen living in Anatolia, which to you and me is modern-day Turkey. And you wonder, well, how's that possible? Well, everyone back then were Roman citizens because the Roman Empire controlled the entire Mediterranean. Every blade of grass, every beachhead, every pebble from Spain across France, Italy, to Greece, across the Aegean, to Anatolia, Turkey, to the Levant in the Middle East, across the Maghreb of North Africa and Egypt and Tunisia to Morocco. The Roman Empire controlled all of that. And how is that possible? Well, wars do that. Now, Galen taught medicine in the traditional sense of Hippocrates. But because Galen was so famous, he was the physician to the Caesars, that whatever he said became fact, even if it wasn't, became dogma. His beliefs, even the wrong ones, like the miasma theory, lasted 1,500 years. That is dogma. It took the Renaissance of the 14th century, the scientific revolution of the 16th century, the Enlightenment of the 18th century, for some of Galen's dogmas become tumbling down. Now, the miasma theory states that all infections came from bad air. That's what miasma means. The plague, cholera, consumption, which you and I know as TB, was from breathing in bad air. They didn't know anything about bacteria, viruses, or parasites. Those weren't discovered until the 1800s. But they felt, and Galen felt, that all of this was from bad air. And you can kind of understand it, but it was an incomplete observation. He observed that infections seemed to circulate in smelly areas and ghettos among smelly people, the providence of the poor. But why did this dogma last 1,500 years? Why didn't several hundred years later they begin to realize that infections maybe were caused by other routes? It was because of the Dark Ages. Now, the Dark Ages weren't because the sun was less bright, although there was a period of time in medieval history when the sun, which has its own weather patterns, was a little bit dimmer. But that's not what the Dark Ages mean. The Dark Ages mean that with the fall of the Roman Empire and the rise of Christianity, it squashed humanity. It squashed humanism, like the earth is flat, like the earth was the center of the world. Even though scientists knew better, the dogma of the church and the dogma that the scientists and physicians put out to be copacetic with the church were wrong. It took the Renaissance, the scientific revolution, and interestingly, the Protestant Reformation to help bring down dogmas. The Protestant Reformation especially placed emphasis on the individual. The church prior to that did not. The Protestant Reformation basically said that the relationship between man and woman and God was direct. It did not flow through a church. It did not flow through a priest. It was a direct relationship. And this put emphasis on the individual, on humanity, which then allowed for the Renaissance, the Protestant Reformation, the scientific revolution. So dogma means a decree, an opinion, which might be false. Science is supposed to be truth or fact. The scientists will, if necessary, try to disprove their truths if in fact they're not true. Miasma means pollution, smelly people, providence of the poor. And the cracks that began to occur during the time of the Renaissance and the scientific revolution was that it became clear that, yeah, maybe the cold and the flu are from bad air, breathing in viruses or whatever, even though they didn't know about viruses. But other infections, particularly one that will be discussed in another episode, syphilis, which was contracted through sexual intercourse, was clear that it was not bad air. It was bad something else, but not bad air. Now, if you like these kind of stories, my books are replete with them. This is the first history of man. I've got 6 books out, and they use science and medicine as a baseline to jump off into other stories of history, sociology, and astronomy, and art, music, sports. I always come back. It's a style of writing called jumping off. It's not for everybody, but I promise you, with every page you turn, and the book is both in Kindle and audiobook, and I do the narration on the audiobook, all 3 platforms, you'll learn something with the turn of every page. Thank you for listening. Have a good day and a healthy day. Thank you very much.